Okay, so you've mentioned leadership several times. I've heard you use that word a few times. I'd love to hear about what your kind of leadership philosophies are, number one. And number two, when you've left EOS and you're on to your next thing, what would you hope people would say about their time kind of working with you as a leader specifically?
I mean, I think that I'll start with the second kind of question first, because I would always hope that wherever I've left, I would hope to be able to leave a legacy. And for me, while I appreciate legacy around business growth, shaping the brand and the work and the content, for me, the number one legacy that any leader can leave are the people that they leave. And so, not that I'm planning to go anywhere anytime soon, but like if I were, I would want to feel that I had set up an organization and a team that was so strong that, like, frankly, I could walk out the door and they would still be able to do fantastic work and build an amazing brand even without me at the helm. I mean, that's really what that legacy is. And then I would love a legacy where they say that I was, fair and made this place a place that they wanted to be, not just because it's a job, but it's because it's an organization that they feel proud to be a part of. And so that's something that's become increasingly more important to me. I feel like the older I get, maybe I'm getting like more sentimental about the whole thing, but like I do feel that those are the things that I'm going to be the most proud of anytime I leave an organization. I think that I've forgotten the first question now. After opining
It
about the
was
second
kind
question.
of in terms of your leadership approach.
Oh, right,
So
right.
leadership approach, leadership
Yeah.
philosophies. I think they're kind of tied in with the first question that you
Yeah,
answered. But
I
yeah,
think so. I mean, I think that any leader really needs to understand what they're stepping into. So it's less about me having sort of a one size fits all approach to leadership. It's really more, what does the organization need? What does the brand need? What does this team need at this time? And that'll look very different depending on the role, the context of the role. So, like, as an example, being a leader at a larger scaled organization, like when I was at Bath and Body Works, is going to look different than how I can best add value as a leader within a smaller, nimbler, leaner, and private organization like EOS that's just in
yep,
a very different phase in its journey. And so for me, it's really about assessing, what does this team need? What does the company need? What does this brand need? And how can I add the most amount of value as a critical member of the leadership team? Within Bath and Body Works, it's just my day to day looked very different. The team itself looked very different, and so how I really felt like I could add the most value looked very different than where I am today. There was a lot more, for example, representing the team's ideas within different leadership forums, right? Within EOS, we're lean. We're a relatively small team, and so I'm in it with the rest of the team. And the way that I add a lot of value is like really being more, a member of the team, and actually kind of like rolling up my sleeves and doing some of
yeah,
the work too. And that's a really important thing within a smaller organization of how leaders show up, is that they're part of the team, not only in some sort of like a hierarchical structure. So that's really been for me, the last two, this experience as well as my last experience has been, it's been a really great juxtaposition for me to be able to flex my own leadership style and to be able to adjust as I need in order to help to make the team as successful as they possibly can be.
yeah, that makes sense. What is the actual size difference? Like, how many employees are there at Bath and Body Works versus EOS? I don't know off the top
Well,
of
I
my head.
mean, Bath and Body Works also has like the entire field organization, so it's like tens
Yeah,
of
yeah,
thousands of people. I genuinely can't even remember how many people were within the home office, but I think that even it's probably in the hundreds that I
yep,
worked with more on a day to day basis. EOS is over 100 people, but that's it.
yep,
We're a really small, nimble team, which is also part, I think, of how I think about our competitive advantage. So at any
yep,
point, whatever situation you're in, whatever role you're in, you always have to think about, like, not what do I not have, like what am I missing that I wish I had. You think about, what do I have, and then how do I leverage that to competitive advantage. For EOS, if my competitive advantage is that we're smaller, less red tape, make decisions faster, can be scrappier, I can create things like, our Cooch Blessings campaign and react really
yeah,
quickly to that. Or I can create things like, we We do, one of the first things that I did was initiate like our D2C micro batch strategy, which allowed for us to create small batches of limited edition, get it while you can, you're never going to see these again type of product in order to drive a, engagement with our fan base. And that's been hugely
Yep.
successful for us too. But these are the types of things that we could enact because we were leaner and smaller and could move fast.
Yeah. I mean, the having product in the influencer's hand. What was the influencer's name, by the way?
Carly Joy.
Carly Joy. Okay. So having product in her hands within 3 days is with like custom packaging, custom labeling, whatever it is just crazy. Like it's so cool. And like you said, if even if Bath and Body Works tried to do that, it'd be really hard, right? There's just so much more tape, paper, whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and also even just the approval process would have been,
yeah.
in this case, I'm telling you the truth, and I've used this as like a funny, like a funny factoid, but it's actually true, which is I forgot to tell my boss that I was doing this, but I had already initiated the whole thing, so there's like no turning back. I forgot to tell my CEO that I had initiated creating Cooch Blessing Cream product, and but it was like the ship had sailed. So luckily he saw the tremendous value in the initiative as well and was like fully on board. But
Luckily,
yeah,
it worked.
it's a good thing it worked. Yes, exactly.